Leo, this is your birthday bonus love energy reading. And also, happy birthday to all of the Leos out there too. I hope you are enjoying your birthday during this Leo season. Now, this particular reading is actually very general, but very direct. It's really interesting, these cards that came out and the clarifications and everything. So this is advice from the universe on finding love. And when I was going over the energy, and as I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person here reading energy and tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. So the first card that came out, cut the cord. I'm not reading all of this. I'm going to give you the summary of it. What this card is talking about with cut the cord, and I'll hold it right there, is you have to know when to let people go that are not growing or that do not encourage your growth. This is more in the love arena, because really you could use that in life in general, whatever your relationships are with people, friends, family, work, co-workers, whatever. But this is specifically about love. When you're in a relationship with someone, you want them to be your biggest cheerleader. That is what you want. Because I know for me, if I'm in a relationship with someone, I'm their biggest cheerleader. I'm rooting them on. I was someone that I'm kind of kicking it with, like getting to know. We were talking about jobs. And I was like, well, what do you like to do? And he was like, well, I like to bartend. He's like, I like to bartend. I like to serve. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, have you ever thought about owning the bar? That's what I asked him. And he's like, oh, no, I can never do that. I was like, who said that? Who said you can never own the bar? He's like, well, it takes money. I was like, okay, you don't have it right now, but that doesn't mean you can't ever do it. It may take a few years for you to get everything together, but it starts a little step at a time. I was like, the first thing you start with, come up with a name for the bar and start there. And then after that, you go to the next step and the next step and the next step while you're, stacking your money and getting everything together. I'm telling you this story to say that is the type of person you need. Someone who is willing to encourage you to grow. Now, if you are satisfied or if they are satisfied and you can handle it, okay, fine. But if they're satisfied, they still need to encourage you. Even if they're satisfied, they're like, oh no, this is all I want to do. This is the most I have in life. I'm good. Okay, you're good, but I still want more. And if you still want more, if you still want to do big things, if they're not encouraging you while they're satisfied and being your biggest cheerleader, it's time to burn the bridge. And that's what this is talking about too, knowing when to burn the bridge, knowing when to cut the losses. It also talks about how if someone is not looking to grow, you can't force them to grow. One thing it specifically says in this is that if a rose is forced to bloom, it will be destroyed. So don't try to change people, quote unquote, or try to force them down a road that they're not ready to handle yet, because everything grows at its own pace. You can be encouraging, you can make suggestions, but if nothing is sinking in, if they're not taking in the nourishment that you're giving them, you need to know when to cut the cord. Now, with Come to Me, this is more about manifesting, but specifically for this card, it's about making a decision. Where if you want something to come into your life, this card is saying, okay, you want something to come into your life, but you can't make up your mind on what you want. I need for you to make a decision. After you make a decision, let me handle everything else. And by me, the universe. So after you make a decision, let the universe handle everything else. And then let it be easy. This card is talking about don't take everything so seriously. One thing that I'm hearing in my head right now, get some of these, it's okay to have goals. When it comes to a relationship, don't beat yourself up, because what this card also is about inner conflict, internal conflict. This card is saying get out of your head. This card is saying meditate. This card is saying take a breath, take a few breaths, breathe deeply. Acknowledge the life in the breath that you are taking. But also, don't take things so seriously. Some of you might have specific dates set, like, oh, I want to be married by August of 2025. I want to have children by December of 2027, so on and so forth. Like, some of you may have these dates in your head because that's one thing I'm hearing. It ain't that deep. I'm not saying don't pursue those goals. I'm not saying throw them out. What I'm saying is don't be at war with yourself if you don't reach them at the goal time you had. That's what I'm saying. Let it be easy. Just live your life. Yes, there's certain things you want to accomplish. Live your life. Again, going back to the come to me, let the universe do its thing. Now, the next card is It's Your Pleasure. This is about self-pleasure. For some of you, that may be something that some of you might be ashamed of or may not feel comfortable with. What this card is saying is that it is okay. You don't have to feel like there needs to be another person involved. And there shouldn't be any guilt when there isn't another person involved. Again, nobody knows your body better than you. So from time to time, if you want to do self-pleasure, you have free will. Long as you don't get carried away with it. Like all things, too much of anything is not good. So stay balanced and you will be fine. But this is saying it's all right. And also it's less drama too. Just saying. Until the one comes along. And then with this card, Magic Hotline, this goes back to the come to me. We're making a decision. When you're making that decision, you're placing the call to the hotline of the universe. And you're saying, this is what I want. This is the order that I'm placing when you make that decision. So that order is submitted. The universe is ready to take your order. That's what the hotline to the universe is for. Place your order. Make a decision. And then when it comes to clarification cards for tarot, Ace of Swords, truth, new, can be a victory. Also, that's weird. I don't know why. I'm getting so many things with the sword right now. One thing I'm getting is weapons. I don't know what weapons has to do with the love reading. Somebody might have an affinity for weapons, or maybe the person, okay, someone who you meet, if it isn't you, for those of you who haven't met your person yet, or maybe you have, there may be somebody who has an affinity for weapons. Not saying that they're going crazy or anything like that. I'm just saying they like to collect weapons. And then also I heard something about Rome. Like, they might be into gladiator stuff or whatever, but someone might want to take a trip to Rome or to Italy or whatever and doing that type of stuff. Just saying, throwing it out there. But with Ace of Swords, Air Energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, it is about new communication. And also the Ten of Pentacles, Earth Energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Long-term goals, family, expansion, stability, generational wealth. And what it's saying is that's available to you if you put in the work. Eight of Pentacles. More Earth energy. Following that is Justice, where things balance out for you. Your work will bring balance. Justice is Libra energy. This isn't karmic. This is balance. It's balancing. So, and also something said, be sure to stay balanced when it comes to your work life and your personal life. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But balance. Some of you might be single for a while. Nine of Pentacles. But this energy is saying there is something, or should I say someone, for you that will come in. It's all about your mindset. If you have a Five of Pentacles mindset of lack, why is everybody in a relationship and I can't seem to find a person, then that's going to be the energy that you're in. What's under, because I don't even know what's under here. I haven't checked. See, Page of Swords. More communication energy. Page of Swords is usually electronic communication. You may hear from someone on a social media app, or some type of dating app or something like that. Because again, Page of Swords is usually electronic. All right. Also, you may get an email from someone. I heard 6 months. Maybe you haven't spoke to this person in 6 months, but I feel like it's a situation where they don't even know if it's your email address anymore. So it's sort of like a test thing. And they may even say, hey, I don't know if this is such and such, but just checking in on you or something like that. You may hear back from someone, especially with Venus retrograde in most of August and Mercury retrograde starting at the end of August and going to the middle of September. So yeah, here we are. All right, Leo, so that is your reading. Until next time, be blessed.